But it has to change right now with this new president. Steve Harvey, Brian Allen, Tyler Perry, a bunch of producers. Steve Harvey, who told Monique she need to shut the fuck up and listen to Oprah and kiss white people's ass and sell out. You're going to mention Steve Harvey to me? Manny of Miami? No. Brian Allen only started crying wolf when they start taking his shit. Tyler Perry, I love what Tyler Perry is doing. That ain't enough, unfortunately. That ain't enough. Steve, I'm okay with Steve. I would love to have a sit down with Steve. Because I did not like that shit that he did to Monique. And Monique is real. Telling her to sell her soul. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the whole conversation right now. Why do we as African Americans have to sell our soul? That's what this conversation is about. Why do we have to sell our soul and we're so busy bailing this country out? We bailed the country out in World War II when African Americans went over into the war and fought alongside with white people. And when white people came back to this country, they were given property. They were given homes. They were treated as heroes. And you know what happened with black people? They ended up going back into slavery. Going back into slavery. So we have some very, very intellectual brothers. So I'm sitting on here, and I just got on here unprompted, whether it's 75 people or the 75,000 or whatever, to educate one person. That's my job. Steve Harvey works around the clock to get what he got. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Every black person worked around the clock to get what they did. But don't fix your mouth to tell a woman to sell out. You don't need to sell out if you got great talent. That's why I sit here right now today and on here talking to y'all, because I refuse to sell out. And a lot of African Americans who have made it, they tell a lot of talented African Americans, sell out and shut the fuck up and kiss their ass and sell your soul. Unfortunately, there's a lot of talented people. We refuse to do it. I remember booking Steve Harvey at the Joseph Kellogg Center in Miami. And when I saw him, I was like, the first time I was like, this motherfucker's a star. That man had me crying, and he was just cracking jokes on the ushers and the people in the audience and all that. I was like, that dude there's good. I respect everything Steve has and got. I'm happy for Steve. But at the same time, how did you get it? Did you sell out? If you did what you had to do, unfortunately, these are the things that are put before us. So Steve had to sell a little bit of his soul to get to where he's at right now. He's doing good. And he tried to put Monique up on game to sell her soul. But why we had to do that? A talented dude like Steve, a talented dude like, look at Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, Steve Harvey. Dave Chappelle walked out. Dave Chappelle walked out on a multi-million-dollar contract because Dave Chappelle said, I am not going to sell my soul to you all. He walked out on a multi-million-dollar contract. I think it was about $76 million. And people were like, are you fucking serious? And Dave Chappelle said, I'm not going to do it. Why should we have to do that? So there's a lot of talented people in this country with backbones and souls that we just ain't going to do it. But am I going to, do I have a problem with the ones who do it? That's their business. They got to live with themselves. Whatever they got to do to make money for their family, if that's what they feel like they should do, then fine with that. But we can't put them in the category of Dave Chappelle and Monique and other people like that. We can't put them in the Ice Cubes of the world. We can't put them in those categories. Bernie Mac, one of the greatest to ever do it. So when we go greatest to ever do it, a lot of these guys ain't with that. And a lot of them are. Do I respect them? I love Steve Harvey, what he do. I love the fact where that brother came from. What he doing, where he at. I know him. I don't know Tyler Perry, never met him in my life. He rocks with Oprah and the rest of that crew there. She co-signs them. They take the Oprah route. No problem, so be it. Fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, why do we have to subject ourselves to that? That's the moral of this conversation. Why do we have to subject ourselves to selling out to the man when the man ain't talented, when the man ain't grabbing the mic, when the man ain't putting up the lights, when the man ain't going in the studio? He's just sitting back and eating caviar with his motherfucking family while he keep us enslaved. And that's what guys like Ice Cube, Nick Cannon, Monique, and all these people of the world, Dave Chappelle, and all these people of the world, a lot of us, me, we refuse to sell out. We'll have less. We will have less every time because they're always searching and looking for somebody to, what they call it, play ball. But right now, to this day, right now, I don't look at it. I don't look at me. I look at the little children who are talented, who are creative. These little black kids that we send into college, these little black kids that are going into, that are in the high schools and creating things and the next big time musicians. What are we leaving them? We're leaving them, putting them in the same predicament that we're in. When they still have to come to us to become the president of the United States. When they have to come to us to become the mayor of the city. When they have to come to us to be the senator. So the question becomes, what is the axe? What is the axe? So don't get mad with Ice Cube when he says, so what y'all gonna do for us? Because y'all ain't did shit for us. When Clinton was the president, you ain't did shit for us. When Obama was the president, what are you finna do for us right now? You ain't did shit for us when you were the mayor, when a Democrat was the mayor, when the Democrats controlled the Senate. You ain't do nothing for us then. So what are you going to do for us? Public schools right now. You drive by your public schools. You got a high school. You're black on here. You went to a black high school. If you went to a white one, okay, so be it. But you do know where the black high school's at. Have they been renovated? Is there internet in the hood? Is the services the same in the hood where you live at if you got out of the hood? This real shit, what I'm talking about. Do our kids have the same opportunity as everybody else's kids? Even though I got a couple of dollars and a couple of cents over my lunch money, my son still is going to have to compete as a black man. Yes, I work my ass off every day to make sure I provide and be able to put him in a predicament. So God, if God take me away from him right now, that he'll have a shitload of money and a shitload of businesses. And I encourage everybody to do that. Whether you open up a fucking frozen cup company, open that company up and be proud of that shit. And be able to pass that generational wealth on to your siblings. And that's what I'm on. But when I look around and see these non-talented, when I look around and see these non-talented people that we got to sell our soul to, I say to myself, why? We make them. John Legend gets to sing on a song. Mary J. Blige gets to sing on a song. Beyonce gets to sing on a song. Jay-Z gets to sing on a song. Kanye West gets to sing on a song. I can go down the list. Waka Flocka, whoever you want to name, they get to sing on the song. Tupac gets to sing on the song. Biggie Smalls get to sing on the song. Puff Daddy get to sing on the song. You name it. Drake, they're all controlled by white people. It's all controlled by them, white companies. So now that we got this new president, when you ride down the highway, and you see the construction being going on, you see the big buildings going up, you see maybe 1 or 2 black people out there, you see the big construction company sign, go look it up. Those are not no black people, black companies. You know why? The black company will go in and put the bid in. Win the bid. Win the bid. Black people will go in and win the bid. And when they win the bid, they can't do the job. You know why? Because ain't no bank going to bond a black company. Y'all don't hear me. So therefore, let me say it again. Win the bid, and ain't no black company win the bid as a minority contractor, because they get pushed up, we get pushed up in the front of the line. We win the bid, but cannot do the work because we can't get bonding. Win the bid because we can't get no bonding. So what ends up happening? What ends up happening? We have to then cut a deal with another general contractor.